Hi guys, so in today's video we are going to smoke some pulled pork in a side barrel smoker. But in today's video I have a special guest. This is my husband Andrew, and he is going to actually make it for us.
Hey guys!
So he is going to do all the work and I'm just going to basically film it all. So let's go spice things up.
Hey guys, I'm really excited to join my wife's channel. She's been urging me to do a video, and I finally picked one that is worthy of her channel. This is a pulled pork recipe. The first thing you need to find is the appropriate meat. So there's lots of different cuts of pork. The one that makes the best pulled pork is going to be your pork shoulder. So once you have that picked out, it's time to get the spices ready. So we're going to add 2 tablespoons of salt, 2 tablespoons of pepper, 2 tablespoons of paprika. I've also got 2 tablespoons of cayenne pepper, 1 tablespoon of cumin, 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and I've got a mixture of some Creole mix here. The recipe will be in the comments. This is going to add a nice southern spice to our pulled pork. So I'm going to add 4 tablespoons of that. So basically what we're looking for is a good dry rub that's going to soak in all the moisture of the meat and create that nice crisp, spicy, salty rub on the outside of the pulled pork. Last ingredient we're going to add is a little spice. Appropriate for the channel, isn't it? Okay, so we have some red peppers here. I'm going to crush them a little bit. It'll kind of minimize the strong flavors that you get concentrated. So here's our pork shoulder. This is about a 7-pound slice of meat. It's a good cut because it's got a lot of fat. This thing is going to be really tender after 10 or so hours in the smoker. The preparation includes you to start the dry rub the night before. So tomorrow we'll be doing the smoking, but I'm going to have this thing ready to go tomorrow. Having it in the refrigerator all night will absorb a lot of the spices and make sure it's ready for the grill. So I'm going to give a generous amount of rub here, using all that awesome spice that we added. I'm going to get inside all the crannies and use up all that rub. So once you've got the rub all the way on there, we're going to cover it in plastic wrap. That'll seal in the flavor and lock that in for tomorrow. Alright, once we've got the plastic wrap all on there, locking in the flavor, you want to protect it in the fridge so there's no leakage by putting it in a small pan. And then our hard work is mainly done. Tomorrow we get to start smoking, but there's one more thing that you have to remember to get ready for tomorrow, and that is soaking your wood. What we have here is a homegrown fruit trees from our backyard. You know, Melissa has lots of videos of cherry and apple. Well, we also have apricots and peaches. Normally you stick to apple when you're doing pulled pork, but I just combined all the different woods that we have in our trees when we prune them in the spring, and I've cut them up into small chunks. Normally you want them a little bit bigger than this, but we're going to use it instead of waste it. That's a better one there. You have to make sure that you soak this in water overnight. You don't want those flaming on your barbecue tomorrow. We want that smoke to really protrude instead of the flame. Having them water soaked will help ensure that. As you can see, we do have 2 here. The spices that I rationed out are going to be for about 2 7-pound pork shoulders. So these are ready to go in the fridge, and tomorrow morning I'll see you back. We're going to get started with the smoker and go to the next steps of getting this pulled pork ready. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow morning. All right, it's the next morning. This is the side barrel smoker my wife was talking about. It's got the indirect heating over here, allowing this smoke barrel to get filled without charring the meat. I've already started the chimney with the charcoal. What I do is grab a little piece of shirt, an old t-shirt, soak it with cooking oil, and use that as my wick in the charcoal. I've had it going for about 10 minutes, and we're ready to pour it in the side barrel. My next goal is to get this heated up. Once it's heated up, I'll clean the grill and get it ready and prepared for the meat. Another thing that I've done is taken out the pork shoulders. Those need to get to room temperature before they go in here. In about 15 or 20 minutes, we'll be ready to go. So it's been about 10 or 15 minutes. I've cleaned the grill and we're up to temperature. You need to be smoking at about 250 degrees. I got to that temperature quicker by opening both vents, creating more airflow to come out. So I've got the vents open here and here to get those coals heated up. We want to stay under 250, so when I open this and put the pork shoulders in, it'll obviously cool down a little bit, and then I'll put my wood that's been soaked overnight into the side barrel, and this smoke will start pouring out in no time at all. We're going to leave it on for quite a few hours. This is an all-day experience for this tender pork shoulder. That's going to be some great pulled pork. But hang on, stick with it, and we're going to have some good stuff ready soon. Alright, we're going to gently place the pork shoulders on there. You can hear the sizzle. We got some nice heat in there, but we don't want too much heat. Low and slow is the name of the game. If you notice, I'm also placing it quite a bit away from this side barrel. It will get charred there if we're not careful. So once they're on, we're ready to progress and get the wood on there. Once you put the wood on, again, this is the fruit wood that we've gotten from our trees in the backyard. We're gonna close this one. So you definitely want to have this open at all times. If you close the one on top, you're going to be ingesting the gases and absorbing in the meat. If we lose heat, we're going to open both of them all the way. But right now, with that fresh wood on there, it's probably going to heat up quick, which is why I closed this one. And again, I just vented this a little bit. We're down at 200. In a couple minutes, we'll be right back at 250. And that's where we're going to stay for the duration of the cooking. So as you can see, we're just under 250 degrees. Not a lot of smoke coming out at this point because a lot of the wood has smoked already. So again, at 250 degrees, we're at a good temperature. So what I'm gonna do is check and see how we're doing in the side barrel. I might need to add some coals. I'll probably need to add some wood because there's not any smoke coming out. I like the coals where they're at. There's about 15 or 20 in there right now. I don't want to get too hot, so I'll add those later. But I was running out of wood. Putting that little bit extra on will create a lot more smoke. And in order for this wood not to flame up and burn, I'm going to close this, creating less airflow, so we'll be guaranteed to get a smoke so I don't char that meat with some flames. Alright, so we're going to check back in a little bit. Thanks a lot for watching. Alright, so for the last 8 hours I've been monitoring the temperature, adding coals and wood to keep that smoke going. It's been a little difficult. I haven't gotten it close to 250. It's been a little low, that's why it's taken a while. I have this Thermopro thermometer. I can leave this in the pork shoulder and monitor my temperature without opening and closing the lid and losing all the hot air. So for pork, we're looking to be at 170. I'm at 142 now. So I'm gonna just be patient and keep putting the coals on and enjoying the time in the backyard with my wife. All right, we're finally at that point where we can start pulling the pulled pork apart and getting it ready for the barbecue sauce. It's been about 11 hours, a long time, and we're now ready to take it off the grill. It's at 170 degrees, which is the safe temperature for pork, and that'll make it easy to pull apart. It's a little hot to touch. I'm gonna need some gloves when I pull this, but other than that, the hard part is done. I'm gonna let that cool a little bit, put some gloves on, pull it, and get that barbecue sauce ready. So we've been waiting 11 hours for this. I'm gonna take a little teaser taste because I've been working hard for this. Let's see how this tastes. Tons of smoke, perfect amount of spice, tender. Can't wait to get this barbecue sauce on it. Our work is well done. All right, Melissa and I had a great time with the kids out back. We pulled all this pork. It's kind of in a little bit more chunky portions, which I kind of like. When I eat my meat, I like to have some consistency to it. If you like the more fine, real loose pulled pork, you're gonna wanna leave it on for a little bit longer. But we're ready to go here. I've got some nice homemade barbecue sauce here. I thicken it up on the stove, and I'm gonna start to mix that with my fresh pulled pork. You know, pulled pork is something that takes a long time, but it's one of those things that it makes it worth it when you're done. Are you ready to taste this with me?
Hey guys, I'm back. Make sure you give this a like if you want to see more videos with my husband in it. We are going to give it a try. Can I say anything?
I can't, my mouth's full.
Well, he can't say anything because his mouth is full. But thank you guys so much. Bye, and see you in the next video.